Before we cut into this episode, we wanted to take time to dedicate this episode to a dear friend of ours whose birthday is today. His name is Blake Lighting. He would have been 31 today. And Blake was a dear friend of mine. He got me the job I have today. I wouldn't have the life I would have had if it wasn't for him. He would be all about this if he was here today. But that being said, all about somebody like that, even they have the dark times in their life. And even they can want to take their life. And he did. Even the happy people in your life, and if they seem like they have something wrong, maybe ask them what's going on. And if you are one of those people with those times in your life, just remember everybody loves you. And the people in your life love you. And don't be afraid to talk to them. That being said, we're going to do a shot of the Blackberry Brandy for our boy Blake, and then go on with the episode.
And really quick, honest to God, if you need somebody to fucking talk to, I've been there. I've fucking been there. Hit me up on Facebook, Benjamin Gaddafi. I will happily talk to you in that time of need.
Absolutely.
It is not a problem to me.
Get ready for the summer adventure of the year.
Did you know 6 degrees of film degree? Shut the fuck up, would you?
3 brave souls
Stop barking.
trapped in a magical land.
What the hell is you doing? I'm trying to do a podcast intro.
Take it upon themselves to talk about movies.
Murder.
That's enough.
But where it gets interesting is when they forget they have no degrees in filmmaking
We don't know what the hell we're doing yet.
and act a fool.
Oh, shit. I'm about this.
Pee Wee Herman, Matthew Broderick,
Give me back my blue blanket!
and Catherine O'Hara.
What kind of idiots do you have working here?
6 degrees of film degrees.
I have to fucking look up how to say this correctly.
For all of your fucking reviews!
Coming to a podcast near you. A Quentin Tarantino film, rated PG.
All right, welcome back to 6 Degrees of Film Degrees. I'm sitting here with Tessa and Eric, and my name is Ben. Almost forgot that part. Who am I?
Hi, Ben.
Hi, Ben.
Hi. Hi, our talk good. But I got John Hurt not to make fun of me this time, so that's good.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Mended fences.
He's such a dick. Fucking John Hurt. But today we are covering the movie Tootsie, and I'll let Tessa explain that. Why did you choose Tootsie?
Well, I chose Tootsie, number one, because it's kind of a different role for Dustin Hoffman. And I think that, it's just unlike anything he's ever done, but it's a fun movie. It's goofy, it's silly, it kind of has, serious undertones in certain parts of the movie, but it's just fun. And it's fun to watch Dustin Hoffman kind of embody this character that is Dorothy.
Right, and the movie should have been rated R, but it was PG.
It was PG.
That's so interesting.
Right? What was it, 1981, I think?
I think so.
Because I forgot the little description at
Right.
the top. I don't know what happened to it. I wasn't... 10 o'clock this morning, I'm like, I'm not going to rewrite it. We got to go.
Right.
So, but yeah, I think it's 1981, and it's PG. I remember
1982.
1982.
According to the Googs.
Do you guys remember when the first PG-13 movie came out?
Oh, God, wasn't it? It was 90s, wasn't it?
90s?
No, 1984.
Oh.
Oh, so we're close.
Yeah, and then
Not at all.
the first PG-13 movie ever was Red Dawn.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Blows my mind.
All right. All right.
And the reason why they decided to do that with the ratings board is because Poltergeist and, what was it, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, super dark movies. Like, Poltergeist, I think, should have been rated R.
Temple of Doom.
These can't be PG.
Yeah. Temple of Doom was dark.
It
If
was
you
super dark.
really think about it, like
Kalima!
Hamam Shibai. But but if they didn't have Short Round in it, the movie would be completely fucking serious and dark. Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild to think about. But then I found out that both of them were going through either breakups or divorces.
Right.
And so they were just in dark places, and they're making these dark movies, and they're pushing it to PG so they can get more people in the door. Mm-hmm. But Poltergeist should have been R. Temple of Doom should have been PG-13.
It's funny how we've gone full circles with the rating board because, like, they did shit like that to get people to watch film. But nowadays, like, I swear, people just don't give a fuck.
Right.
It's R, dude. I can get my fucking 8-year-old in there. Let's go.
Did your parents let you watch R-rated movies?
Yeah, mine
Like,
didn't. Mine didn't.
Is Jaws rated R?
No, it's PG.
Shut the fuck up.
It's a plastic shark.
God damn it. Dad,
But
I'm
still,
looking at you.
just Steven Spielberg with his movies. That was PG. Poltergeist was PG.
I watched Jaws when I was 4 years old, and to this day, if I'm in a hotel swimming pool, I can't look underwater.
That's funny. Dude, deep water does scare me.
I'm very scared.
There's random scenes in movies where it just like makes me cringe. Like the one that always like that I think of in these scenarios is what was it, the Alien vs Predator? The end of the movie when they dump the fucking big ass alien into the ocean, and then it just shows like the black abyss and her falling.
Oh, yeah.
That actually scared me more than anything else in the movie.
Yeah,
being
deep
honest.
ocean, man. Deep ocean is scary. We begin with Michael Dorsey teaching acting classes, having his students try numerous different exercises. Looking like a bunch of goofballs, by the way. After many failed auditions, he complains to his coworker and roommate, played by Bill Murray, during their shift at a restaurant. Complaining on the way home, they walk into their apartment to find a surprise party for Michael's birthday. Michael continuously hits on every woman at the party and fails, ending up walking his friend Sandy home after the party. He escorts her to an audition for a soap the next morning, only to have Sandy rejected before she can even speak her lines. Michael storms out to speak to his agent about another role given to someone else, and his agent, played by Sidney Pollack, informs him there is no one in the city that will hire him anymore. We cut to Michael then, dressed as a woman he named Dorothy Michaels, walk into the same audition that Sandy had, and he lands the role.
The only thing I think about, like with the scene where he's teaching the class, is like people don't get that passionate anymore about anything. I feel like just like because I feel like their egos get in the way, and like you see everybody in the room just like, oh, you know, But like literally, like I feel like if you teach a class, like no matter what, people go into it nowadays, and they just already think they're smarter than the teacher.
Oh, I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of crazy. Like I get it. Like if you're passionate about stuff, like we live in the internet age anyway, so like your knowledge is kind of infinite. But even then, like there's a reason like why these people teach. I mean, you can't teach experience.
Right.
God
but-
forbid if Michael's students find out that no one will hire him.
Oh, right. And that's an easy fucking.
And they still respect
review.
him and listen to him.
Right.
Have you guys ever watched Barry?
Yeah. I sure have.
I don't know.
Barry, it's a show on HBO. It's
What's his name?
Bill Hader.
Hater. Bill Hater.
But
Ain't a hater.
He's
He
a
was a hater.
he's a hitman
Okay.
who follows one of his hits. He's got a job in LA, and he follows one of his hits into an acting class, and then he finds this passion for acting. But all his fellow actors are exactly what you're describing. They're doing the exercises that the teacher are telling them to do, but they all think that they're better than this. Like they're trying to land these roles and this and that. And the love interest, you want to push her down a flight of stairs. She's so obnoxious. But anyway, so I get your point. Like the beginning of the movie, everybody's into it. They're trying to learn. And like me, I had to do a couple acting classes in college, and it does like shake that awkwardness out of you. The exercises that they do, they make you feel awkward. But that's the whole point of them. Shake that awkwardness out.
Right.
Get to know your facial expressions and your emotions, and you just feel like a fucking turd doing it.
I was gonna say you can have all the knowledge and preparation in the world for something like that, and then until you actually do it, and all your nerves hit and your fucking anxiety hits, and you forget everything.
Right. But then I love the fact that he's teaching this class, and then you see him in the auditioning process, and he's a fucking terrible actor.
Oh, yeah. He's not great.
He's god
Michael
awful.
Dorsey, not a great actor.
But that's one thing I respect about Dustin Hoffman, though, is because he's a great actor playing a terrible actor.
It's true.
Same with the character Sandy. Like she's
Right.
a terrible actress, or she's a good actress playing a terrible actress.
And they crush it.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Not to mention that, I mean, Dustin Hoffman also has to play an entirely different role as a woman in this film. So he's got multiple.
Well, that's where he gets to flex.
Yeah, where- ironically. But yeah, so he's got all these different roles that he's kind of trying to mold himself into, and shit, Dorothy ends up working.
Right.
But then you're introduced to Bill Murray in the restaurant, and it's wild seeing him that young.
That
Super young.
especially with our next episode, seeing all his co-stars in the franchise he played in, and then the movie he in that movie, you could tell that they all were drinking that baby juice, and they all look fantastic. But then you see Bill Murray, and he looks like this fucking prune.
Right.
Yeah.
He doesn't even look like him anymore.
No, but like
He's getting up there.
he never did any plastic surgery.
You can tell.
He never did any of that. But then
Poor Bill.
Right. But anyway, we'll get into that
Right.
next episode.
Yeah.
But it's great in here because I think I feel like most of his lines were improv.
Right, yeah. Most of Bill Murray's lines in Tootsie were improvised. They just put him in there and be like, hey,
Okay, he was just a name.
be you.
That they threw in the movie just to go along with Dustin Hoffman.
But
Right.
not a name that they threw in at the beginning.
Right. Because
Right.
at this point, I think he had already done Stripes. Like that's the
Yeah.
only
So.
movie he had done, but he was on Saturday Night Live. So he was kind of a household name. He was a familiar name.
Right. And I'm not even
was.
trying to piggyback off of a different show, but they brought up recently how there was a time back then, and with the SNL cast, they were just taking bits and making movies.
Oh yeah, they did that up until like the late '90s, early 2000s.
Right, and then they just rolled with it, just because you knew who they were.
Right.
Again, not to take from somebody else, but
No, that's
it was
fine.
it
That's
was
a good-
it was a great point.
Yeah. You just brought up a good point, yeah. Because how many movies have we quoted on this goddamn podcast that have been SNL skits beforehand?
Oh, a lot.
lot.
Many.
They get to the surprise party, and he's upset that he's got a surprise party, but then he just hits on every single woman in there.
Yeah, it's his birthday. Why not?
It's like his zipper is stuck down.
Right. I kind of feel for him. I feel like I've been in that type of like shoes, how he's feeling as a person, I guess, where he's just like, nothing's going right for him, and then he's just like, you know what, dude, I want some fucking strange, and then, but then he's going about it all types of wrong with like every girl he meets and shit.
I think you'd be a
get
great
it.
actress. Let's see your bush.
He doesn't have the lines in any way, shape, or form for acting for women. He doesn't have it.
Right. What's your address? Where do you live? What's your address? Is your mom hot too?
Can I have your number?
Shit, girl.
But yeah, poor Michael Dorsey gets turned down by every girl.
Then there's
On his
poor
birthday.
Sandy.
Oh,
Poor
dude, he
Sandy
takes
trapped in the bathroom.
full advantage of that situation with her, and it's kind of fucked up. I can't even deny that I have not done something like that before, though. In that same breath, like
Oh yeah,
like
taking
a
your
friend
home. Like, God
yeah,
damn it.
I've done that. It's whatever.
Like
Well, all he did is walk her home.
No, I'm talking about like just down the movie in general. What he does with her.
Oh yeah, dude, that poor fucking girl, and you never get any reconciliation for her. Like
No.
she's just all
No, they don't. No.
she kind of just gets shit on, like
the whole fucking
over
movie.
and over and over. Yeah, it's rough.
This
you know?
movie was definitely way ahead of its time, and for like 1,000 different reasons.
Right.
I agree.
Like Sandy goes to the audition, and she doesn't even get a read.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
so
they
rude.
they take one look at her, but that's the fucking name of the game, which is
So rude.
saddening.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad
Like-
I'm not an actress.
That's where I'm getting at. She's a beautiful woman, but you don't have the look. Get out.
Like,
You're gone.
oh,
Get out of here.
They
guess
just
I'll
don't
just
have
go
the,
fuck myself.
She just don't have the
Chicago!
edge, right?
Damn. But yeah, so I mean, I think we also need to talk about how. So the film is directed by Sidney Pollack, and he also plays Dorothy Michaels and Michael Dorsey's agent in the film. And a lot of Dustin Hoffman and Sidney Pollack's dialogue is also improvised.
Hold on.
Tessa's tips. That was with a P.
Tips.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
Thank you, Ren.
Tips. But yeah, so the film, directed by Sidney Pollack, but he's also in the film as the agent, and the banter back and forth between Sidney Pollack's character, between the agent and Michael Dorsey, or Dorothy Michaels, depending on who he's dressed as at the time. But most of it is just improvised.
Dude, those types of bits can only be done like that.
Right.
Like those types of actors and shit. Like a lot of the shit I've been listening to lately. I've listened to a New Girl podcast lately, and there was an episode where I had Nick Miller, Jake Johnson. Yes, he was on it, and he was talking about how that type of comedy or any type of acting, because he does bigger roles now, and all he does with like scene partners and shit is he just does like bits with them all the time, and then that's how you get like that genuine shit. But then you do have to take 1,000 takes just to get the good shit.
Right.
But,
and I guess that like Sidney Pollack and Dustin Hoffman were kind of doing that offset, and that's how they decided, like, wait a minute, this is good. They're just bickering and fighting back and forth, and just throwing in these one-liners and going at each other, and then they're like, wait, turn on a camera, let's go. And they put it in the film,
and it turned out to be my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah.
I think their relationship with each other is some of the best acting I've seen in a long time, because it wasn't rushed, it felt genuine, and like you're saying, it clearly was. It was so entertaining. I was a great tomato. Tomatoes don't move. I know, that's what I was telling them.
dude, two crusty guys fucking going at it each other, dude. That's like describes all my friendships with my friends. Just like the dumbest shit.
It's like Nick when he gets drunk.
I was about to, dude, he does that sober. I fucking call him all the time just to, like, I don't even say hi. I just start talking shit and then just go from there.
Your opinion is wrong because you're stupid.
because you're stupid.
So Dustin Hoffman gets the wild hair up his ass that nobody in New York will hire him because what did they say? Like something about being a man.
Okay, Sidney Pollack informs him that there is no one in the city that will hire him. Nobody in the whole ass city's gonna hire you.
And
so
then,
you better turn into somebody else.
And then we cut to Dorothy Michaels walking down the street.
Right. I get that though. Like,
She cute.
yeah, fuck that. Like if you're like managing talent like that and they're fucking bitches like that, I get it.
I 100% get it.
Yeah, I ain't you. Like on top of like other shit you're trying to fucking deal with, the last thing you're gonna deal with is like somebody fucking giving you attitude every fucking second of the way.
Right. Well, and what you mentioned at the beginning was those actors that feel entitled.
Oh,
like
he was.
during the
That's the funny part is he was the worst one.
Yeah, but he was the teacher.
Right.
So maybe at that time it was the teacher that felt entitled.
Well, in a way, I felt like that's probably how it should have been because he was the most informed. He was the most knowledgeable.
The most experienced.
Most
he played the best tomato ever.
I was the best tomato. The first day of shoots, Dorothy is introduced to the hospital on the soap. When she's supposed to kiss the doctor, she hits him over the head, changing the script entirely. Michael's character quickly becomes a national sensation. Later, when Sandy catches Michael in her bedroom half undressed to try on her clothes for ideas for Dorothy's wardrobe, he covers up by claiming he wants to have sex with her. Good cover up. Nice job there.
Dipshit.
It's a win-win.
Sandy is receptive, and they sleep together. God damn it, Sandy. Exacerbating matters further, he is attracted to one of his co-stars, Julie Nichols, played by Jessica Lange. And at a party when Michael, dressed as himself, not as Dorothy, approaches Julie with a pickup line to which she had previously told Dorothy she would be receptive to, Julie actually just throws a drink in his face. So it doesn't work at all. Michael later confesses to Sandy after lying numerous times that he is in love with another woman. Dorothy is later invited to Julie's father's place for the weekend, and her father starts to fall in love with Dorothy. There's a lot to unpack
Right.
in Act 2.
The fact that he thought it was a good idea, dress as a woman and steal his friend Sandy's role that she just went for. Mm-hmm. Like, that's just fucked up. I remember hearing an interview with somebody. I don't remember what actor it was, but they had a friend go for a role. And then they got rejected. And then they gave it to somebody else, but then they couldn't do it. And then that's when that person swooped in and took it. Because then he was taking it from that other person
That's
instead of his friend.
showbiz, baby.
Right.
I was
And
gonna say
that was
sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do.
right. I understand, but I understand at the same time why Sandy would be pissed.
Oh,
because
I mean,
she went in
yeah.
for the role, and then all of a sudden he just walks in and gets it.
Right.
Well, you're gonna be a little hurt about it.
He definitely got lucky in the sense where it was an ego play and he got there with it.
100%.
Yeah.
It was a total ego play. But then, like, during the was it the audition or after that? The woman that's reading the lines to him is the woman from Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah,
She was-
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? But she was the host.
Love that.
I think it was after because he pretty much went on and then they what was it?
I think
they
it was
took
on
it.
set.
It was on set. Yeah.
On the set of the soap opera that.
Well, because I remember
playing.
he forced his way into a reading. Because they said, well, we need to make her look more attractive. How far can you pull back? And the cameraman's like, how about Cleveland?
I think Dorothy's cute.
I don't know. I
She
just
got
see
those-
I just see
Dorothy?
Dustin Hoffman with
Yeah.
makeup. I can't get over that fact.
Dude, he looks like my grandmother. Like that's all I see. He's-
Mine too. It was
Your grandmothers are gonna listen to this and be pissed.
Both
Dude,
my
she-
grandmothers passed away. So.
and mine won't even touch a cell phone, so we're good. Dude, to this day, dude, she's like, fuck that. She's like, you need to get a hold of me, leave me a voicemail. At my
busy.
house.
At my house. I like that. I like the unavailability to the public.
Send me a
I'm all about it.
telegram.
Right.
But another one of my tips for this part, I suppose, if we're talking about Dorothy's looks, I did want to talk about where her breastises came from.
Where her breastises came from?
Yes, because obviously, Dustin Hoffman does not have breasts, but Dorothy
Not
does.
big enough breasts.
No.
Fun
not
fact
big
I
enough.
just discovered on the last podcast we did, he has nipples too.
He does have nipples.
Remember, I was like, well, because we don't have them. Well, we have nipples. Never mind. You're looking at me
you
like
do have nipples.
we had a
To
whole
be fair-
conversation about that.
That was 2 months ago.
That's very
We
true.
are in a big gap from our last recording.
It's been a minute, but
Right,
Ben
and
has
this is
nipples.
definitely
Dustin
not a
Hoffman has
re-recording.
nipples. Okay, but Dorothy's breasts actually were custom fitted prosthesis purchased from an outlet specializing in post mastectomy products. And do you guys want to take a guess on how much they cost per boob?
Per boob?
Per boob.
Three bills each.
3 bills. Okay, Ben.
I was gonna say 2,500.
No. I was surprised at how low this is.
$2. $2 a titty.
$2.
Come on.
These
I'll
are
pay
not-
you $1 to
Look
touch
at
your dick and then
those.
touch your toes.
Those are not $2 titties. They look nice. Come on. No, each boob cost $175.
Damn, even I overshot.
That's it.
So what does that equate to today's money? Where's my phone?
I'm not sure.
I do not have my cell phone.
We're gonna do some math real quick.
With Obama.
I'm curious.
I don't know where my
Biden
phone
as
is.
president.
Here, use mine.
Just do a little
We're
Google.
gonna Google
$10,000.
$175.
I'm gonna guess it's about $500-$600, maybe $1,000.
That would make sense. I'd say $1,000 each.
So this
Nine
was
$999.99.
1982. Well, when they were making it, probably just put 1980.
1980.
They were probably doing pre-production during
Today.
then.
So nowadays, $175 back in 1980 now would be equivalent to $620.77.
You weren't too far
That's
off.
still not that expensive.
Still
Right.
not that expensive. So, I mean,
Inflation.
they
man.
look good, man. Though they look real.
Yeah.
They're
No, they do.
symmetrical. That's nice. Good for her.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody has that luxury.
All I hated was the hair and the shoulder pads.
The
My-
hair and his schnoz.
You got a
Okay.
schnoz like mine.
They also did try to cover up the schnoz with those big glasses because those were added
Right.
onto the character because they were like, oh, his nose is very masculine.
But I remember when I was doing the notes for this, my mom was in town, and I watched it with her, and she's just ripped because she grew up in the 60s, 70s, 80s. You know, she's born in 1949. Sorry, I'm telling everybody your age, Mom. I'm sorry. But anyway, she's going, oh my God, the fashion in the 80s was ridiculous. Oh my, those shoulder pads. Blah, blah, blah. She even used to own a maternity store.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so she was a fashionable one in Rockbrook.
Oh, okay.
But she's watching this going, shoulder pads. Oh my God, why would you wear that blouse? Why would you do that? Like, can we watch the movie? Like everybody's thinking, like, just talk about the movie. What the fuck are you doing, man?
Dorothy's look was, I mean, it was a choice, but
Bold,
Dude, at the time, it
very
was,
bold
it was,
choice.
It was
hip.
bold.
It was hip and happening.
yeah.
Just like Mom Jean's coming back.
And
Stop
he
it,
didn't-
ladies.
He wasn't trying to play like the sexy girl on the show.
That's very true. He was trying to play the respectable
He was,
Southern
yeah,
belle.
Exactly.
Yeah, and the Southern accent also was not originally planned, but Hoffman actually found that his voice fell more into a female pitch with a Southern accent than without it. So that's how it came to be part of the character.
I think that was a good choice because
Just hearing Dustin Hoffman talk like this probably would have sounded like Mickey Mouse.
Like you sound like Mickey Mouse. But you put a Southern accent in there, and it's like, oh, she's a sweet little Southern belle.
Southern Belle.
he's got 3 voices. He's got Dustin Hoffman, he's got Southern Belle, and he's got Captain Hook.
Yep.
All I think of Dustin Hoffman is in fucking Meet the Fockers. Honey, I want a chimichanga.
I want to
So make yourself a chimichanga. Barbara Streisand. I love her.
Oh, we'll have to get to those movies. Those
Right.
movies are great. Imagine this movie, Tootsie, if it was like Robert De Niro instead of Dustin Hoffman. I
think it'd be way too comedic.
Probably, because the seriousness would be taken out. But there's a movie called Stardust. It was based off of a book by Neil Gaiman, and it's the closest thing we'll ever have to a good Final Fantasy movie. But Dustin Hoffman,
De Niro.
De Niro,
Robert De
thank you.
Niro.
Robert De Niro plays a gay sky pirate captain, but he's hiding it from his crew.
That's awesome.
So when he's alone in his chambers, he's trying on dresses and dancing to classical music.
So like, what's
I
his
have watched
face
that.
from? What was it? I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry.
I haven't seen that in years.
The black dude.
Oh, Michael Clark Duncan.
Yeah. He was in closet the whole time, and then the first time he ever shows is him just fucking singing and dancing in the shower with everybody.
He gets the role. He changes the script because he doesn't want to kiss the doctor, right? Mm-hmm. Which, like, I mean, looking
I
at the
get
doctor, I wouldn't want to kiss him either. But he's like, oh my God, he's going to know. He's probably going to feel my fucking stubble or some shit, right?
Right.
So he doesn't want to kiss the
Hey
doctor.
man, ladies get stubble sometimes.
Yeah, shit. It's for real. Tweezers everywhere in the
Right.
car, in the
Right.
purse. But yeah, he changes the script, and that's kind of what gets him his notoriety with the show's fans. Is like he goes off script and sensationalizes the moment, and that's what makes people love Dorothy.
Another one of my favorite moments is another Sidney Pollack moment when he finally introduces Dorothy to Sidney Pollack at the restaurant. He finally realizes it's Dustin Hoffman. He's like, "You're psychotic." He's like, "No, I'm not. I'm employed." Like fucking
Isn't that the same thing nowadays?
right.
Yeah. Pretty much.
But yeah, I mean, he lands this awesome role. He changes things to make them his own, and Dorothy becomes like kind of like a household name on this soap opera
And
because
pisses Sandy off something fierce.
she
She looks like a cow, and
not knowing that Dorothy is her friend Michael.
right. So Michael's being all defensive. Dustin Hoffman. It's like, what do you mean? Like, you didn't like her blouse, or you think she needs to lose weight, or what? I think she looked great. I think she's a great actress. No.
Sandy's not about it.
Nope.
How could they possibly choose her over me? Mm-hmm. Look at those glasses.
Yeah, she looks like a foot.
What's funny? It's funny if you think about it though. Like, if that unique situation where he was actually her, remove that, and then it's just like basic fucking just bitching at your friend, and then you go
Right.
past it. I feel like that'd be fishy right there. It's just like, I mean, obviously, like why would that ever be like the actual situation where he was actually her? But
Right.
yeah.
But in that kind of situation, most of the time your friend's gonna be like, "Yeah, you know what? You would have been so much better at that. How could they possibly have?
Well,
They
that-
didn't even let you speak." And instead, Michael's like, "No, I thought she did really well, and she's a great fit."
I think that's another big play at his ego there.
Oh, 100 fucking
Because
percent.
he literally could have avoided that whole, like, he could have kept his anonymity, of the whole his anonymity of the whole situation. If he would have just been like, yeah, dude, fuck that bitch.
But he also fucking tries to take Sandy's clothes. Michael goes in there and is just like fucking trying on her clothes and shit, gonna take some stuff to be Dorothy, and then she catches him and he's just like,
I want to make love to you.
let's have sex. Like, I'm sorry, what? And she's like, okay. Like, no, Sandy, pull yourself up by your fucking panties and get the fuck out of there. This is not okay. Like,
And afterwards, she's like, this isn't going to change anything, right?
like, tug on your lady balls a little bit.
Can you blame her, though? Dustin Hoffman looked good half naked. Or 3/4 naked.
I can't. It's because he's also 3/4 my size.
Oh, yeah, he's fucking Oompa Loompa, but...
Bam, dang, dang.
He's a petite individual. And then you see him standing next to Sandy, and she's like this tall, leggy blonde.
Right. But I mean, he's cut. He's like Bruce Lee
climb
cut.
that mountain.
He is. He's just, I mean, really, he's climbing that tree.
Nose to nose, and your toes are in it.
I did that once. It was okay.
I do that on the rig.
Hey, girl. Yeah, I never have. I'm a fucking gargantuan.
Ben, you've never fucked a girl that's been 6'5"?
No.
6'6"?
No. There's not many of them out there.
No, there's not. There's not.
They're all short. Short girls.
I am average. Thank you.
To me? Yeah.
Shut up. I am average.
Dude, especially nowadays, like, I realize more and more how short I am, and I'm told I'm the average height.
Yeah.
Like, I walk around at work, it's literally walking through, like, a jungle or, like, a city, like, trying to, like, pass around everybody, because everyone's, like, 6 foot or taller, and then I'm the one in charge, too.
Hey, stop doing that. You're looking up and pointing. Hey.
Love for short guys. Sandy has it, too.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Napoleon.
Napoleon complex.
Michael's character kind of does have, like, a little bit of a Napoleon complex.
He's kind of got all the complexes.
Yeah.
Especially when he, yeah.
Where the fuck were we?
Okay, so we're talking about Sandy has sex with Michael after he's trying to steal her fucking clothes.
Oh yeah, and she the moment she did that, she knew. Like, oh, I fucked up. I'll try it. I'll try it anyway. If you promise not to fuck me over, and he's like, oh,
I would never.
He already is.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But then he's got plans with her. He forgets because he's hitting on another woman. He feigns being sick because he's trying to hide the Dorothy thing. So he doesn't. He's got a couple lies going, and then they just keep building and building and building.
All this could have been avoided if he would have just finessed the situation better.
Right.
Like the time with the clothes, you could have just been like, I don't know, I just wanted to fucking see what it looked like.
Yeah, fucking.
Dude, I put on Patience's pants plenty of times.
I have.
I'm not aware of those.
Have you?
Yeah. She got those like the hip.
Why don't
hug
you
with
wear
the-
my pants?
I do when you're not home.
That's why they're stretched out.
Yeah. It's a
Not
giant
like
bulge
the,
of
like
mine.
The, right.
Watch out, ladies.
Certainly.
Why is
not
there
in
a
the butt
penis
area.
impression in my tights?
Why is there a thumb impression in my pants? I'm not very big.
Extremely average, at best.
In some countries, I'm huge. Not this one. Moving on.
Okay. All right. So we talked about that. We talked about. He confesses to Sandy later on after lying numerous times. He tells her that he's in love with another woman. That's another blow to Sandy.
Yeah. It's like I'm glad I'm glad he did it because it needed to be said.
A moment of honesty, but god damn it.
Right. A little too late, bud.
Like, you fucked up too many times.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Just go back to being Dorothy because you suck at being Michael.
Right.
Like I said, it just blows my mind how that whole thing could have just been avoided. I understand it needs to be dramatic because it is a movie.
Right.
But just me as like apparently a silver bearded person in my twilights, and I'm just looking at him. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, he could have handled it better.
100%.
It could have been avoided, but
I even wrote it down to not say it anymore.
100%.
That's like the 6th time I've said, 100%.
Listeners, are you going to count? Have you counted thus far? How many times does he say it? 100%.
If I get to 10, you get a free t-shirt.
We will. We'll make you a t-shirt. Send it out. It'll be great.
It'll just be a white Fruit of the Looms t-shirt with nothing on it. But
Yeah.
you get a t-shirt.
It might
No,
be
I'll draw 100% on it in fabric marker.
right.
And
And
just above the 100%. Oh, comma.
And you can
Oh,
pay
100%.
extra for it to not be wet when you get it.
That's extra. Okay, and then we move into Dorothy. Obviously, Dorothy as Michael. Sorry, Michael/Dorothy has a crush on his co-star Julie Nichols, played by Jessica Lange, and they, Dorothy and Julie kind of hit it off, right? They have this friendship. Dorothy's a trailblazing woman, and just making up her own lines and changing shit. And Julie likes that, and she's drawn to that, so they become friends. And then Julie invites Dorothy out to her father's place for the weekend. And then Dad takes one look at Dorothy.
Instant boner.
Yeah, he's about it. He is about
That'd
some
be
Dorothy
so fucking
Michaels.
awkward.
But yeah, so it's an awkward situation.
It's totally awkward. Like there's a moment where they're sitting there having a drink at night, and she says, "I just want a man to tell me he wants to rip my clothes off and make love to me," or whatever. And then,
Julie says that.
to Dorothy. And then Michael walks into that party, and she's there, so he goes out on the balcony, and he says verbatim what she said she wanted a man to say.
Yep.
Gets a drink in his face or gets slapped, or I think it was the drink. Yeah, because he's soaking wet. But I'm like, you actually thought that was going to work?
That's such a typical,
She would have
sorry
to be
guys, but that's such a typical dude moment where he hears something and he's like, that's what she wants. Oh my God, I've got it. It'll
Again,
work.
It might have worked if he finessed it correctly.
But
Yeah.
he did not. He's not very good at reading any situation that he's in.
No.
He doesn't read a room. He doesn't read people. He can just read a script, I guess.
She was already done with dudes at that time because her fucking boyfriend, the director of the whole thing, he's the banker in Beverly Hillbillies movie.
Oh, yep.
That the parking cost me $5,000. Anyway, he's such a fucking scumbag in this.
Yep. He's a dick. She's over men.
He's already pissed her off, so she's out on the balcony, and then here comes Dustin Hoffman thinking he's gonna get lucky. Nope, drink in the face, dumb shit.
Yep. Timing.
Right,
My dude. Timing.
Right.
facial expressions are everything.
Read the room and the body language and fucking
That was
figure it out.
The other thing they obviously it was a huge part of their relationship, but they definitely played down her, confusion with women. That's why this movie was a little bit ahead of its time in that sense. Because obviously the directors and such were probably trying to subtly put it in there, but they were limit testing what they could do at the time. Mm-hmm. Already going for cross-dressing at that time. I guess it might have been, I'd imagine a lot of dudes back then were like, I ain't watching that shit.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Andy Warhol makes an appearance in this, and he had world-renowned drag queens that he rolled with.
Right.
I think he did some of their wardrobe. I can't remember exactly what he did.
Yeah, Dustin Hoffman spent time with makeup artists and on the set of General Hospital and with other drag performers to get the look and the presence correct. He did delve into, that kind of research, field research, if
Right.
you will.
That didn't shock me. What shocked me was when he takes Sandy to that audition. She's like, "All right, wish me luck. Fuck you." No, wish me luck. Fuck you. Go. It's PG.
That's true. It is.
Again,
Fuck you,
back
go.
then it was, you cuss.
Yeah.
You didn't fucking
Yep.
kid. People didn't care. I still don't care, but.
Due to Dorothy's popularity, the show's producers want to extend her contract for another year. When a technical problem forces the cast to perform live, Michael sabotages Dorothy's extensive stay on the show, improvising the reveal of Dorothy being a man. Julie is so outraged at Michael's deception that she punches him in the groin once the cameras have stopped rolling and storms off. Some weeks later, Michael is moving forward with producing Jeff's play, and Jeff is Bill Murray, his roommate. He returns Julie's father's engagement ring. Despite his anger, Les, Julie's father, admits that Michael was good company as Dorothy, and Michael buys him a beer. Michael later waits for Julie outside the studio. She is reluctant to talk to him, but finally admits that she misses Dorothy. Michael tells her Dorothy is within him, and he misses her too. Julie forgives him, and they walk away together, engaged in conversation.
All right, so the being asked out again, because this is way before the big reveal, but it's after the house.
It'd be the beginning of this act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for some stupid reason, Dorothy agrees to go get drinks with him.
Dude, his decision making is so sus. Dude,
It's
like
true.
every choice he
Word,
makes.
bro, no cap.
Right.
It's those dumb games where you can. It's all about the choice that you make, and you go one route or the other, and then there's
just
more
the
choices. later on.
decision
Like,
tree.
You're just making the wrong decision every single step of the way.
I mean, even down to the point where if he would have finessed his situation with how successful the show was to the upper management of the show and that he was a man, they wouldn't have given a fuck. All they saw was the money.
Right.
Right. He could have continued on as Dorothy.
Easily. And it would have helped his situation.
But the whole reason he was doing that was to make the play, raise money for the play. So once he gets that contract for they renewed his contract for a year.
Dude,
So
you know,
he didn't
as-
want to do it for another year because for one, the guilt was getting to him.
I was going to say.
It was too much.
Two, all he wanted to do was produce that play for his buddy. So he raised
Did
enough
he,
money.
though? You know, I had those feelings about it during the movie. It was, yes, he stuck to his moral ground of that's why he was doing what he was doing, but you could fucking tell he didn't want to do that shit.
Right.
Yeah, I think if it weren't for just trying to keep up with all the lies and dealing with the fact that he can't be with Julie when he's a woman, it's
Dude, he could have played this so differently,
he
and
could
everything
have
would have
gotten
been
away
fine.
with it. He could have continued as Dorothy on the show.
You guys just changed my mind about that whole situation. Because you just mentioned he wanted to get with Jessica Lange.
Yeah, with Julie.
So he couldn't as a woman.
No.
What you were saying.
Right.
So he had to do it as a man. So that's why, fucking cheeky monkey.
Yeah. So there's
Cheeky
multiple
fucking-
reasons why he wanted to get out of his womanhood, basically. He's
yeah.
escaping from womanhood and he's trying to find a way out because he
Right.
can't keep up with the lies. He wants Julie, can't have her as a lady. He tried that. And we didn't talk about that yet, but they have this like kiss moment at Julie's apartment, right? And it makes things weird for all
I was
these
going to say,
reasons.
that's the time and age, like her confusion goes even deeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Julie's like, oh, no, I can't do this, but can I? No, I don't know.
Just fucking do what you want.
And so it gets a little confusing and messy. And then finally, Michael's like, fuck this. I can't be a lady anymore. And boy, have we all had those days.
But
And he figures out a way to jump right out of womanhood on live television.
just imagine what that did for the ratings, though.
Oh, through the roof.
Like,
Wouldn't you want him back?
People love dramatic.
I was
Even now.
I was half expecting that scene from Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. Say hello to Captain Winky, and then everybody around is like spinning.
I actually really like how I have this in my notes, but I actually really like how Michael reveals himself, like the slow tearing off of the fake eyelashes,
It had class.
and he's speaking, he's going through this monologue basically while he's revealing himself, and then he takes off the wig and the glasses, and everyone's like. But I thought it was very good.
I'm Dorothy's half brother, Donald Michael.
Oh my god.
And I tell you what.
Yeah, he went somewhere with it, but he
did
it.
He mixed Dorothy and Captain Hook. That's all he did. I'm telling you.
Yeah, because we can't count in his French accent from Perfume. Because
No, he was
Oh my
supposed to be an Italian.
right,
Yeah, he was
So,
Italian.
See, I don't even know. You can't tell.
You don't put sense in there.
Dustin Hoffman in that accent. But anyways, yeah. So he reveals himself live television, which again he could have done it differently and still stayed on the fucking show and gotten money for his friends' movie.
Yeah, he could fund, if you want to stick to that moral high ground, he could have funded everything for them.
Yeah, and then kept acting as
Right.
Dorothy.
One of the funniest parts of that part, though. One of the funniest moments
Part
of
of the
that
part.
scene. The part. Oh, 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
The director Like earlier, he was like, there's not very many women that don't like me. I'm gonna figure it out. And then the reveal, he's like, I knew it.
That's why she doesn't like me.
Yep.
Because she's a man.
We forgot to talk about how he fucking creepily tried to creep trap him at his house.
Oh, yeah. Dorothy gets... That's the doctor on the set,
Yeah,
right?
that was the doctor.
The doctor in the beginning that she avoids his kiss by the first time she changes the script, right? So this doctor has a boner for her. All these older guys, they just want to jump Dorothy's bones.
Mm-hmm. It's
a little
the perms.
Petite figure. Dustin Hoffman.
And that Southern Belle accent.
And the Adam's apple we can rub together.
She wore high neck dresses to cover that Adam's apple. Mm-hmm. It was part of the costuming. But yeah, so the doctor also has a boner for her. Julie's dad has a boner for her. But this doctor man fucking stands outside of her window one night and
sings.
And sings. And ends up like basically bulldozing his way into her apartment and tries to get up on her shit, even though she's like, oh my God.
Dude, that shit, I cannot stand those types of situations. Like somebody like puts you in a scenario where they like want something from you or like ask a question, but they already know what it's going to be. Then they like manipulate it to like,
they won't take no for an answer.
Right. And it's just like, what the fuck, dude? Like I was just trying to come home.
Again,
like if
so
that
relatable.
fucking happened to me, it's just like, what are you doing?
So relatable.
That scene was like a live action Pepe Le Pew.
Oh yeah.
Oh jeez.
But then Bill Murray to the rescue.
Oh thank God.
What's going on in here?
Yeah, Bill Murray, Jeff, the roommate, just walks in while this fucking doctor is like trying to basically hump or mount Dorothy.
Right.
My apologies, I didn't realize.
Oh yeah, he straightens right up as soon as a man enters the room.
And then
is this your property? My fault.
Doesn't he call Michael a slut? Like, you slut.
Yeah. Bill Murray. Yeah. Bill Murray calls him a slut. And then I think she says something along the lines of like, if you hadn't walked in, I would have been on the morning news. And which actually, I haven't talked about this yet. I bring in this note that Dustin Hoffman actually never considered Tootsie to be a comedy. It was actually like a very emotional role for him because he had to confront his own sexist perceptions of women, which he never really knew that he had.
So you can almost kind of feel that through the whole movie.
Oh, yeah.
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 Message.
And he realized that his character was interesting and smart, but not incredibly beautiful, unless you're asking the doctor or Julie's dad.
People like what they like.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No kink shame here.
And but Dustin Hoffman realized that like he probably would never have approached Dorothy at a party because she's not incredibly beautiful, but he realized how many interesting conversations or interesting people and stories and things to learn and know that he's missed out on because of that.
I mean, that probably still holds true today.
Oh yeah.
With a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I mean, it was just interesting to read how it kind of changed how he viewed society and gender roles and double standards and how women were treated, which I think is it's funny how he plops down in the chair after this doctor tries to come on to him and Bill Murray saves the day and he's like, Jesus Christ, this is not a laughing matter.
Because old men are just thinking,
yeah, exactly.
I love your shoulder pads, girl. Let me take off that blouse.
Exactly.
And wear it. Then you get into the sticky situation. It's a never-ending cycle.
Is that pun intended? Sticky?
Oh.
Oh.
It is now.
Oh. Okay.
He tries to get Sandy back. Or not Sandy.
Julie
back.
Julie.
He tries to get Julie back by, creepily leaning against a parked van outside of...
Yeah, I would just walk away.
I'm like...
even if it
dude.
was just like a gorgeous woman doing that
Again.
thing. It's just like, what are we doing here?
It's a Hollywood movie. It's New York, technically. But it's a movie. It's got to have the happy ending. And you kind of, I think he learned his lesson.
Yeah.
But there needs to,
Probably not, but yeah.
He needs to apologize to Sandy. Big fucking time.
And he never does.
No. The last time you see
Spoiler.
her is her screaming while she's watching the reveal. Just,
Poor Sandy. God damn it. But yeah, she freaks out and sees the reveal, sees that it's Michael, and she's probably all sorts of fucking pissed, even more so than before.
right. But he went with Jessica Lange.
He did. He went for Julie. And we kind of skimmed over it earlier with the whole ring that Julie's father gives back to him because...
Oh, yeah, and then the giving it back.
Right. Julie's father actually proposes to Dorothy at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, at the club.
Yeah. Yeah. He proposes to her and she has this ring. And so then as Michael, after the reveal, she meets Julie's dad at a bar and goes to give the ring back to him by just setting it on the bar top. And Julie's dad is just like, oh my God, we'll do this outside. Get that away from here. Like all the other bar patrons can see him
Right.
giving an engagement ring back to him.
Are you out of your fucking mind?
Yeah.
He's trying to do the man-to-man, like, dude, my fault.
Mm-hmm.
But it ends
Here's
up
your
working
ring.
out. He
Right.
it's okay. He buys him a beer. They talk about it.
They play a couple games of pool.
And everything's okay. And it's man to man.
They have a dude moment.
They
I
have a
really
dude
liked
moment.
hanging out with you. I really liked hanging out with you too.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry I tried to marry you, man.
Here's your
That's
engagement
cool.
ring. Thanks. I'm flattered.
We'll start it over. Let's go to the bathroom. All right.
And then cut to Michael standing by a creepy ass van on the street,
Fucking
waiting
well.
for Julie to come out of the studio.
Reluctantly, you have the happy ending, which
Yeah.
is fine. The cheesy music.
Oh,
Dude, I'm a
The
sucker
walking
for
away.
a good wholesome ending like that with like the man and a woman.
Right. When a man. Sorry.
I'm like watching it like, oh my God, Julie, fucking run. Can you just, no, do not, no.
That or just like that situation is so like controversial though, because like in a way Dustin Hoffman was kind of just being himself as Dorothy, right? Mm-hmm. Yes, on like face value, you could run quick, but at the same time, it's like I get it.
Well, that's one thing that playing Dorothy taught him was that he was being a fucking dickhead,
right?
and then so he got in touch with his air quotes feminine side. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He started realizing all these motions because people, as a woman, he started realizing that the things that the men were doing to him as Dorothy, he was doing to other women.
Absolutely.
And so it was like a wake-up
Yeah.
call for him. You know what I mean?
Like, oh my God, I'm an asshole.
Right. And that's the number one rule in
Casserole.
life. Don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole.
But I heard casserole.
But I said asshole.
Why don't you shut her off for me?
Didn't want to wake her up, so I started revving my engine. Okay, so this is the point in the podcast where we do our ratings, and one being a one and done, and that is 1 point towards the movie. 2 being is this a rent occasionally, and 3 points being the highest we give is own it, watch it every
it on
damn
the
time,
shelf.
every damn time you can,
Fall asleep to it if you can't find something else to watch.
dude. Those are the best. For me, this movie is a probably a 2.
Okay.
2, watch occasionally, and no, for no special reason. I think it's just not something I just want to watch every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, what did you think overall, though? Like,
Overall, what I thought of the movie, yeah, I thought it was a great movie. It has like a lot of controversial shit, especially nowadays. And at the time, it was definitely stuff that it was basically foretelling, how life will go in 20 years. Mm-hmm. So yeah, overall I do like the movie, and it's a 2-star for me.
all right. Tessa?
Yeah, I think I'm in the 2 ballpark as well. I love this movie, but I don't think it's not an everyday watch. It's not gonna be like the go-to.
It's like
movie
I'm not
for
gonna
me.
fucking be like, yo, dude, come over to my house tonight. We're watching Tootsie
Right.
and playing Uno.
It's
Let's
gonna be
go.
lit. Kids say nowadays, right?
Yeah, and they don't pronounce words properly.
Lit.
I don't get the finna thing.
Finna. I'm finna do this.
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't
one of
g-
my
I don't
sister's
understand
friends told
that.
me they liked my fit the other day, and I'm like, my what? And then I realized they're just talking about my outfit. I'm like, oh my God, I love your fit, and I'm like, my what?
Anyway,
We're
Ben,
hipping with it.
Ben, what'd you think of this film?
It's an own it for me. I want to get it on DVD or Blu-ray. Or
All right.
Ultra HD. Yes, coming to a home near you.
Dude, I bet you kids nowadays don't even have fucking DVD players.
Some don't.
It's funny watching them operate a tape player or a rotary phone. But anyway, I loved it. I thought this was a great movie, and I didn't see it until a couple years ago. And I remember when you announced that you were going to do this, I'm like, I haven't seen it. But then I must have, at some point, I remember, it's hazy, but I remember talking to Ben Dolan about it, and you need to watch that movie. It's a great movie.
Oh, I can definitely see Ben Dolan liking this movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So he told me to watch it. So when I was watching it for this, I remembered every single point, and it all just came crashing, because I must have watched that and been like, that was a good movie. Now I'm going to binge this. You know, whatever I turned on after that.
Right.
It's a memorable movie, I will say.
When this movie was decided, I had not seen it.
Okay.
Yeah. And I kind of said it earlier, but this is an actual re-recording of this episode for reasons. Mm-hmm. But so...
I got too drunk. It's okay.
Yeah.
I got a little surly.
A surly little sailor. I couldn't talk. I couldn't even pronounce Taco Bell.
And I actually haven't even heard what the episode said. I just took Ben's word for it. And
it's fucking bad.
But I do not remember a single thing of us recording that episode. So I was like, okay, I trust you.
we were doing a little bit of boozing.
A little bit.
Blackberry brandy.
But all right, so that gives us an average score of Rent Occasionally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Tell your friends, tell your mom.
like we're going to tell you every podcast, every movie that we watch, it's
at least once.
yes, you have to experience it, because don't take our word for it. Every movie that we like, you might not like, and vice versa.
You know? Absolutely.
You might think it's shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the three of us found it entertaining, which is, three's pretty good.
Yeah.
Three's a crowd, right?
In my twilights, I'm definitely loving more movies with like the deeper meanings for sure.
You're in your 30s and you're now in your twilights.
I'm 31. Okay.
We're in our twilights.
I have a silver
Are
patch
we-
in my beard now.
Are we talking Team Edward or Team Jacob? What do you?
No,
I was a Jacob.
I don't know. I was into Harry Potter. Fuck all that
Me
shit.
too.
I didn't go both ways, dude. Like I
did
felt
in
like I
college.
was betraying well, same, but and after.
Tessa goes both ways. Tonight at 9 on ABC.
Rated PG.
PG.
But anyway, we should probably
Rated
wrap
E
this up.
for everyone.
Well, that being, what are we doing next week? By next week, I mean next episode. What are we doing next episode?
Well, that is Ghostbusters Afterlife, and I think it was your choice.
It was a question for myself.
Oh, okay. Well,
Eric, what are we covering next week?
No, and then I went with that movie because of Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
Yep. And I chose The Afterlife just because it was a movie I had not seen. And why I had not seen, I have no excuse for you. I just...
Well, recently just came out.
Life kind of just got in the way. And the whole COVID thing kind of put a wrench in my fucking going to movies every fucking week. That was like my shit.
You know, that was supposed to come out during COVID.
Right.
That was one of those postponed.
Postponed
Yep.
It's fucked up.
Right?
But it's out now, and we're going to cover it.
Bing, bang, bing, bing, bang, bang. So we'll catch you next episode.
Yep. Good day.
Catch you on the flippity flop.
I'll be back with my flip flop.
Okay, bye.
Flip that.
Six degrees of filmed green.